Okay, how you doing, gents? Hope everyone's well. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was just running a bit late there. Started delivery, had to go and check before they drop it off and let me sign for it. So, how is everyone? Hope everyone's okay, alive and kicking. So, what are we looking at here so far? Seems like we are ranging at the moment. Bounced off here, had a little bit of an overshoot there, a little bit of an overshoot there. So at the moment, we seem to be ranging at the moment. So, how you doing, bud? Speedy, how are you, my friend? Indy, good morning. Groll Daddy, morning traders. Ranwolf, how are you? Brick, good afternoon, lads. JP, good morning. Rodian, hi, everyone. Ionis, how are you? Kev, how you doing, Kev? Good day for me. Just passed my evaluation today. Very first one. Good for you, mate. Take your time, relax, wait for good quality setups, and do the complete opposite to me. You won't go far wrong. Chris, how you doing, bud? Exponential Trader, good morning, Lance and all. How you doing, bud? Night Floor, better late than pregnant. Absolutely. So, all right, let's see how we get on. So, yeah, it's not been a bad. I seem to have found my area of patience a little bit now. I didn't take a trade yesterday. I took one before. And when I did this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it seemed to work well. I was averaging about 4 trades a week, but winning trades a week as far as I'm concerned, if you can do that. That's, well, 2 contracts around about $800 a week, isn't it? You times that by 4, 3,200. The plan would be to take 2,000 out and whatever's left, let it build the account. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Slow and steady, I think, is, everyone tries to run before they can walk, and I'm no exception. I've done it before. Maybe had some luck as well in the past, which has carried me a little bit. But ultimately, you just need to sit there patiently and just take what you can, I think. But good quality setups. I blew my first evaluation later. Well, I'm on to 200, mate. So in the grand scheme of things, you're doing well. You will do. I mean, you go from being careful to being a little bit risky to absolutely pure gambling and throwing money away. I remember sitting here one evening, and as most of you know, I like my single malt Scotch whiskies. And I sat here, and I remember having a drink on the stream. Just coming to the end of it, I popped a new bottle. I think it was a new bottle of Balvenie, and I sat there for about an hour and a half after. And after about 6 doubles, I bought myself 2 evaluations, blew them straight away. And I did that 5 times and ended up blowing 10 evaluations in the space of about 45 minutes, just trying to get lucky. So you'll go from one extreme to the other. No doubt about it. You'll do everything. And as I mentioned a couple of days ago, I had a guy who sent me a tweet. Let me find it. I must photograph it so it's closer. Where is it? I read it the other day. Where is it? Really interesting, actually. And in all honesty, that's my thoughts exactly. I'll find it in a second. No, it's coming. It's getting close. That's the one. I got sent a tweet, and the tweet was by a guy called Anthony Crudell, I think. He's a trader. And it said, no book, tweet, or coach will keep you from losing more money than you intended to. You have to get so sick to the stomach of making the same mistakes that you reach a point where you say enough's enough. Then maybe you'll stop hurting yourself. And that's exactly what we do. We hurt ourselves. We punish ourselves. How many times are you frustrated and angry with yourself, and it's almost like self-sacrifice? You think, oh, I don't deserve it. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm just going to go here and see what happens. And then it's crazy, but you'll go from one extreme to the complete other. It's crazy what you do, but it's how it goes. We're human beings. We make stupid mistakes. We make silly decisions based on emotions. I mean, if we had an emotion button and we could switch it off, we'd all make a fortune. But unfortunately, you just have to go through all that state, I remember, quick example, I remember my sister-in-law, her husband left her just out the blue, walked out. And I remember me and my wife going around to see, and she was absolutely in tears, shaking. And I saw her over that period of time going from that to getting a little bit better and a little bit better, then going downhill a bit, then getting a bit better. And because you've got all those, I'm not saying the emotions are at the same level, but they're emotions nonetheless. You go on a roller coaster of sort of fear, anxiety, anger, just being plain upset, frustrated. There's all sorts of emotions. But how do you deal with those emotions? What stops all that emotions? Time. You get used to it. If you have that, we've all had it, most of us have, we've all got dumped on at some point, and we go through a whole host of emotions. But with time, you get used to them and they have less of effect on you. And I personally think that's a lot to do with trading. Anything where there's a lot of powerful emotions, after a period of time, they start to slowly have less effect on you. And I think that's a lot of it. Actually, I prefer that. So that's my analogy. Take it or leave it. Not the best. Not the best, but that's the best I got. So, nice 2 points there. What did you get there, mate? I don't know where you went. Did you go from it? I don't know. Did you go from here? I don't know where you went there, mate. But yeah, I mean, that's my... It is. You get sick and tired. I mean, we've all traded, haven't we, until we felt physically sick. How many accounts, I mean, out of all the PAs, I've blown, I think, 23, 24 PA accounts. And it makes you physically sick. I mean, I've been sat in my bed with my hands on over my eyes thinking, what am I doing? Feeling literally sick to my stomach. Throwing more and more money away. You work for 7 days, you pass that, and you blow it in a day because the emotions of trading are too powerful. But if you do it day in, day out, and keep practicing, they get better. I know that because I don't feel the same way. I felt like there was a vice around my neck trading evaluations. Evaluations don't bother me now. I'm going through similar sort of feelings with the PAs, because obviously PAs, you're building money and losing money. So I call it being a good loser. Absolutely. No one likes to lose today. We don't like to give anything away. We don't like to lose money. But, they say in trading's part of it, you have to accept it. Now, there's two schools of thought there that I can think of. One, you take a trade that you believe to be a good trade. I can live with those. They don't affect me that much. But the trades I knew I was bending the rules a bit, they're the ones that do my head in and I struggle with. So I think the simple answer for that is if you sit there until you take a trade that you believe to be good enough, and then if you stick to those ones, it won't hurt as much, I think. That's my thoughts anyway. So we're obviously ranging at the moment. We've had I adjusted that, but that looked like a little break out the top. And same here, the bottom. And we've had this little channel, we've had a break in a new high. Now, these channels, obviously, I mean, they're less, with the rules of a channel, they're less important or not as important as the range, because a lot of the times we'll have a channel up like that and we'll just turn straight away. Well, obviously, in this scenario, we've had a break in a new high, which you usually would, probably because it hasn't quite hit the tops of this range yet, but... if we happen to go over and close here and we come back a bit, careful going along there thinking, well, we're going to make a new high, because if we bounced off the top or out the bottom in this case, look at this, we've got this channel. So whether you have that channel like that or whether you have it somewhere around about that, I mean, that certainly fits nice. We haven't had a break in a new low because obviously we've popped out the bottom is what I believe to be a range, which we are at the moment. So just be aware of them. Got to learn to lose before you can win, yeah. I wish there was a magic bullet there, I got to say, but yeah, no one likes to lose, do they? I wonder if, you've been trading 25 years, whether a loss hurts as much, or whether, I'd like to ask Mac, do losses affect you at all? I know Mac, his answer will be I never lose. But it'd be nice to know if... I'm assuming over time, I mean, if you get to the stage where you're drawing 10,000 out a month or 20,000 out a month and you've been doing it for a few years, I would hesitate to guess that. I have heard Thomas Wade mentioned, they don't hurt as much. I think it goes without saying. It's probably going to be that way, isn't it? But also risk has a lot to do with it. And when we're trying to build accounts, on a $50,000 account, you've only really got $2,000, $2,500. If I'm trading 2 contracts, I'm risking 10%. Now in trading, 10% is a lot. A lot of when I started to learn to trade currency, I was told 1 to 3%, which I went at 2%. And I know a lot of institutional traders will risk at 1% or even 0.5% in some cases. But while we're trying to build accounts, we tend to risk a little bit more. Okay, there is a second entry long here, but I'm not thinking about going long because we're bouncing here. So I'd say that would probably be a trap. Whether it work or not, I don't know. Whether this is a bigger channel that's going to work out, no idea. It's possible we could have a break, a couple of legs and then high, but it's unsafe to go high into there really, and the way that's coming down, it's a trap. So try to go on, try to go. It's a failure. If it works, well, it's turning. Interesting. I thought that was going to take that straight out by the way that came down bearish. So we've had a break new high, trying to go once. If we push through the EMA and then give us a lower high, I may have been interested, but it is a little bit sideways here, so I've just got to be extra cautious. Now, another thing that's making me a little bit extra cautious is there is strong liquidity at 95. Now, Brant, I don't know if you're there, mate. You asked me a question yesterday. Do you still find the bookmap? Do you still find it helpful and effective? I had to think about that last night, and not as helpful and effective as it was. So maybe that was the novelty of using it. I don't know. If I was going for runners, then I would think it would be more useful, because if I can see there's strong liquidity and I'm in a trade here, I may hold on a bit longer if there's not much liquidity. So it's not as useful as I first thought. Maybe it will save you taking a trade. I don't know if you're taking a short here and there's a bunch of liquidity. Maybe it might help you, but it's not as effective as it first was. So there's still that second entry long there, or higher low, which is slowly working up. The trouble is, we're still bouncing off this area. So that's what I mean about this liquidity level. You may have gone short there, seeing you may think we're coming down, but yeah, I don't think you stop using it. Just one more variable. Yeah, I think if you swing trading a bit more or taking runners, maybe later on down the line, then maybe yeah. But the way we trade, I don't think. I had a good think about that last night, and I'm thinking, is it really helping me? Let me think of scenarios lately where it saved me, and actually, I can't think of any. If we're having a nice trending day, then I think it may be a bit useful, because if you can see, as we're moving up, there's liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here. I'm thinking, okay, I think we're going to continue to push up as opposed to have a break. So yes, but look at this, see. That is liquidity there. You may have been thinking about going short there. Not that there was an entry, but that bar there or something. But the fact that we got this up there has would make me hold fire a bit. So I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe it does to a degree. It obviously works for a lot of traders because a lot of people use it, but I mean, if I was going to go short here, we've had a break new high. We haven't closed above there, so we get a nice big bearish bar there. So would anybody take that? I tend to wait for the lower highs now. I'm not a fan. So you wouldn't have got you wouldn't have got 2 points out of that. It's not part of Max System, Thomas Wade, Marco, Vlad, none of them. No, I get that. I get that. I think I've paid less attention to it lately. I tend to bung these levels here and then just sort of a little glance once in a while, but I think in all honesty, it's not as helpful as I initially thought. I don't think it's detrimental. But I think if you're taking a short down here and taking profits up here, then maybe it might be more useful. But look at this. We're still working up. Now, we could be going into a bigger channel here. But obviously, until we break out of this, retest the top, obviously you can't be thinking about going long yet, really. Especially with all this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's bounced off that top and it hasn't closed above there. So going long here, it may work, but obviously it's risky. If I took a trade here and it bounced and triggered me, people would say, well, why the hell did you go long into all that resistance? But there's a nice failure there. Now, if we hadn't had all these touches, it may be a trade that I may have been interested in, but we've had a push up, sort of a couple of legs back, and a new high. So, but like Max says, 3 or more bars side by side. So you've got 3 bars. I like where it is. If this channel's valid, I like where it is, but there's 3 bars side by side, and there's a lot of resistance. So it's risky. Do I think it's going to work? The way it looks like it's starting to push higher. We've pushed up. We've made a new high. We've bounced back a couple of times. And it looks like we're trying to push higher, so it may work. Yeah, I may get rid of it. Perhaps it was my excuse for my wife to buy a new monitor. Who knows? But scalping 2 points, I don't think it's as important. I think it's probably more important with runners. You know, if you've got liquidity levels here, it may, if you, I don't know, you take a trade here or down here, it may give you more confidence to hold. Now, if you're in a runner, you're going to be thinking of coming out here, but if there's masses of liquidity, you may think, okay, let's put it under here and let's see if it does push up. Now, you would expect, without seeing that book map and without seeing that liquidity up here, you would expect the market to come down here, wouldn't you? You would be looking for shorts here, so new high, maybe take that short. It's a tick off a bearish bar, but I know that liquidity is there, so let's see if it makes a difference. I'll tell you what, if it hits that liquidity level, I'll keep the book map here from time to time. If it doesn't hit there and comes down, I'll shut it down today, see if it makes a difference, see how I feel. But it does, we've touched here, and we've sort of touched a few times. That triggered and it stopped out. Okay, so let's get rid of it for the day. Let's have a blank screen. Let's get rid of it, see if it makes a difference on me. Okay, so there's a possible second entry long there. You've probably gone short there. You may have gone short there. Let's see what happens, see if it pushes above this. Because we've got a new high there, trying to go once. There's some longs trapped there, but they've been stopped out. There's probably some longs there, maybe. Second entry long. Let's see if these hold. Now, that's a second entry long there. Now, you wouldn't want to be going long into here, but in all fairness, if you look at that, there's a little bit of a box, what's the word, a range there, small bit of congestion. And we dropped down and pushed up and sat on there. So let's see if that triggers. It has triggered. Let's see if that comes down. Because there's a failure there. So the picture I'm seeing now, the momentum is we're in a range and it's bouncing off these tops. That book map was showing me there is liquidity above here. So let's see what happens. If it pushes above all this, then maybe it was useful. Because if I was thinking about going short there, let's see if it would have saved me. So normally you wouldn't take a second entry long there because the momentum is it's bouncing off the top. And you wouldn't really want to go long with a point to where all the resistance is. But I know that liquidity is there. So let's see if this makes a difference. So maybe I don't know, you've gone short there, possibly. You'd have taken a couple of points anyway, but we'll see what happens. Interesting. Okay, so there's a failure there, if that triggers, and if it breaks below here, trouble is it is a bit congested there. No, I'm trying to stay out of all this shit if I can and just take my time a bit. So there's a second entry along there. This looks like it may form into a higher low. See what happens here. Okay, if this triggers and pushes up to here, bookmap was useful. If it comes down and stops out the second entry longs, I'll keep it off. It's off at the moment. So, failed second entry long coming off these highs. I'd be interested here. There could be a couple of traps here. There's definitely a second entry long off the key entry point, and it's holding. So, let's see what happens. So, chances are there may be a lot of people taking a short there. Failed second entry long off this key entry point, which is triggered. So let's see what happens if it breaks below here. I'll keep the. It's only a medium impact news, mate. It shouldn't really make a difference. But if it breaks above there and triggers that out, I'd say me knowing that liquidity level has kept me out of that trade. So let's just see. Yeah, medium impact generally doesn't make a great deal of difference. I know a lot of traders don't even have it on. Interesting. The stop for that second entry long is held. The failed second entry short has just been stopped out. Now that is a trade I may have taken. But the fact that I know there's a lot of liquidity there tells me it may come back up to this. So I think bookmap sometimes in a range can protect me from taking a bad trade. Now, we're bouncing off every time we've come down. We've bounced once, we've pushed down, we've bounced twice. Now, if I took that short off this key entry point, I'd be saying, oh, there's a trap there. There's a second entry long, nice and bullish and triggered. So I'll go short there. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I went short there, it triggered me. That stop held and it came up and took out that short there. So I may have been thinking, oh, look, second entry long there, failure, failed second entry long. Off this key entry point, we're coming down. And I'd have lost that trade. So the fact that that's there, I don't know, maybe psychologically, it doesn't mean to say there's not multiple traps, but psychologically it kept me out of a trade, hard to short with high lows, EMA reaction. But what the first thing I'll be thinking of is we're in a range day, so short the tops and buy the bottoms. So I'd be saying there's a new high there, so we come down. But the bit that will get me in that trade is the fact that there's a second entry long and a nice big bullish bar that's triggered. So if I'd be thinking if that gets stopped out, we're coming down. So that may be a trade I would have taken. And I bet there'll be a few people who took that trade. And it came down, triggered you for maybe, I don't know, 3 ticks, and then stopped you out. So the fact that that's there, I don't know, maybe it was going to be congested anyway. I don't know. I don't know. But I would be thinking, oh, there's a second entry long there, or a failure. Oh, let's take this. But the fact that I can see there's a lot of liquidity there, there is a lot of sell orders there, I might be thinking, oh, is it going higher? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But there again, see that second entry long stopped out, so maybe it was just, I don't know. Maybe there's not enough people short in here, maybe because of that. I don't know. It's hard to say whether it makes a point. I don't think it's... I think it's better for runners. If you're taking runners, longer runners, I don't know, maybe you're in a runner and it's coming up here, then it may be useful to see these liquidity levels, because if liquidity levels are just above here, and I've marked these liquidity levels before, and usually when they're high, market rams through them. So I think in a runner scenario, that's where I think it would be more useful. So I've deleted it for now anyway. I've got it off for now. Absolutely, yeah. You just can't trade that, can you? Can't trade none of that, really. I mean, you would expect it to come into the range, wouldn't you? Because obviously, look, so it's doing its job. Unfortunately, that was a bit of a trap. That was probably a better looking bar. A little bit more bearish. And obviously, at that point, we're clearly sort of working down, aren't we? So that might be the better option. Once we get below these 2 bars here, then you would think we would get some motion. But there's probably going to be some more longs here. Possibly some long stops here, possibly more here. So I think it's quite likely now we're going to work down to the bottom. Let's get rid of that anyway. So we've had this channel, we've had a break at a new high, a couple of attempts back. So you could have long there, but it just makes me nervous because we've already hit that top. So whether it's going to trap you and come down. I sort of did a trade like that the other day. And it went up a little bit like that and came down, took me out. So as we've already been up to these highs, I'm probably less inclined to long there. So Chris, how you doing? Let's congratulate you yesterday. 1 trade on a hard day, good patience. I didn't take a trade yesterday, mate. You're thinking the day before, aren't you? No, I never took a trade yesterday. Just took one the day before. Yes, I didn't see a great deal of trades yesterday. If you looked on the Facebook group, very few people posted. Let me have a look. Very few people posted. I think Marco marked a couple. I think he said he did 1. I don't know. Okay, so there is a little bit of resistance along that midline. You can see it there. You can see it there. You can see it here. So got my screen back. Yeah, it's very few people yesterday. Marco, oh no, very few people put a chart up yesterday. Marco did. What did he mark? A few trades, but not many. He marked some very early on. We wouldn't have been trading then, and then he marked 2. But yeah, not a lot of trade really. I didn't see a lot yesterday. There wasn't a lot of people posting charts, and usually if they don't take a trade, they don't do that. But NC, yeah, I've only ever traded the ES, mate. Certainly futures anyway. I did a spot currency trading when I first started. But yeah, I have played around with the NQ just a little bit on a sim in the evenings, just to get a bit of feel. It's more of a feel for the point system, because obviously the points are a bit different. You need to going for 2 contracts on the ES. Obviously the risk in that's a bit different, so it just takes a bit. I'm pretty used to this. I know how this works. It's a lot more straightforward, this, I think, the points sort of scoring system than the Nasdaq. But I don't know whether it's detrimental to trade the two at the same time, because I had this one on about a week ago and I had the NQ above me. And if the NQ went down 2 or 3 ticks, this seemed to. So I'm thinking, if I'm in a long gear and I see the Nasdaq coming down, is it gonna change how I feel about the trade? I mean, I don't know. So I don't know. That's the trouble. I think the two tend to work quite hand in hand. It's the same with Bitcoins and the altcoins. Bitcoin moves, everything moves. You get a pump, 10% pump on Bitcoin. You can guarantee any other altcoin you click on, you've got exactly the same push. So I think, from what I gather, the NQ and the ES tend to work hand in hand. So let's just shove that out of the way a bit. Let's see if we got something working down here. Okay, so this, let me just put another line down here, because there is another area where prices held a little bit there. See it a few times there and a few times there and there as well. So see if this bounces off here. See, I'll class this area as an overshoot. Whether it's just this or not, I don't know. I have both charts and price ladders. How did you get on with them, bud? Did you find? See, what I found is as I mentioned, when I was looking at a trade here. Now I was just doing a demo, so I opened a trade here, and I noticed if the NQ came down a few ticks, this one seemed to mirror it. So I don't know whether it was just me or but I know when I started trading currency, I'd usually have the six major pairs, and I would be looking for trends. And if I had trends, I wasn't scalping. I was sort of more intraday trading. It was the hour and the 4-hour chart, so it was more sort of throughout the day trading. And I would have multiple charts, but obviously with scalping, it's a little bit faster pace. You haven't got a lot of time to think. So if I'm, focusing on another chart, is it going to affect what I'm looking at this? But maybe not. That's why I'm trying to have a play around with it and see if I think I could work the two together. Or even maybe if you traded the 2,000 tick chart here and maybe a 1,000 tick chart, maybe that would, make a little bit of a difference. I don't know, but I'm just having a bit of a play. But sometimes you can sit here for 3 hours and have no trade. So it'd be nice to know that you've got another chart to look at that you may be able to get a trade. I mean, market was going up here. There wasn't an entry. But if the market's going up on another chart, maybe there will be. Let's see what happens here. Correlated, yeah. It's good to see who is stronger and weaker sometimes. You can get an early entry if you see NQ flashing down. Yeah, I can see that. That would make sense. I wonder how you'd feel if you were in a trade on one and you were glancing at the other. So maybe if you're in a trade on one, you got to forget the other and just focus on what you're doing, I suppose. Because if you see the other one come, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to play around with them. I'll just, mess around on Sims maybe for an hour of an evening if I get some time. Yeah, see, there's a new high after here, so there is a lower high there, which just seemed to have cleared it. It might not have been a bad trade. That trouble is, it's quite a large bar, isn't it? 2.5. It's 3.25. So tick above, tick above. That's a quarter of a point off 4 points there. It's a bit rich for my blood there, and it is still just a little congested. As I say, if I've got healthier bank balances, I may be inclined to take something. But for me at the moment, the way my head is and the way I'm building counts, I want to take these A1 trades, the really obvious ones. But it's just, it's a little bit choppy there. That one I wouldn't have taken. There was a failure there, but that one didn't work. Maybe that one. I think probably that one would have been the safer one, but it is quite a big bar there. But once we come away from this congested area, then we bounced enough. You would expect it to come down, but I'm just trying to take the slightly more obvious ones at the moment. As Max said, 1 to 2 trades a day. If I can get one really nice quality setup, I'd rather wait. And it's not a bad way to look at things. Who was it sent me something? Let's have a look. I do get emails and stuff quite a lot, actually. And I do get some really nice, useful tips. Where is it? Who was it that sent me? It might be one of you guys, I can't remember. I think it was Art, actually. If Art's in, I think he sent me an email. Apparently I think this is from Al Brooks? I should only take the best trades, either scalp or swing, no random trades, no blowing up accounts, and buying more. It's difficult to watch a screen for 2 or 3 hours at a time and not place a trade, but the best way for me to make money, but this is the best way for me to make money. If it's my goal to do this and make money, this is what I must do. Be mindful, calm, and peaceful. Discipline is the single most important characteristics of winning traders. Trading is easy to understand, but difficult to do. It's very difficult to follow simple rules, while even occasionally self-indulgences can be the difference between success and failure. Everyone can be as mentally tough as Tiger Woods for one shot, but a few can be tough enough for the entire round. Everyone knows what mental toughness and discipline are, and everyone is mentally tough and disciplined at some activities every day, but few truly appreciate just how extreme and unrelenting you have to be a great trader. Some interesting stuff there. This guy, I forget it, I'm sure it was Art. He says that he reads it every day. Discipline is insane. Yeah. So it is. I think you need to. It was a nice big bearish bar there. Trouble is, we've bounced a bit here. So I'm guessing the bottom is probably here, but same again. It's only a first entry, and that's quite a sizey bar. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 3 points. Tick above, tick below. I'd say how bearish it is, it's probably likely to push down, but whether it'll go this low or not, I don't know. I've brought this down to here, but it does, that line there does play a part, so whether it will come down or whether it'll move from there, I don't know, but it's only a first entry, so it's not something I can get into really, as nice and as bearish as it is. So it'd be interesting if we get a lower high here. I don't think we will. Interesting. It never triggered higher. It didn't even get at the same level, so you can't take it really. And it's getting a bit congested. May actually have a quick drop now by the looks of things. We'll see. Yeah, see, I was aware of that line, which is holding price a little bit. Or even maybe a touch lower than that, actually. That's probably a bit better. It's touching it here, 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 a few times here. So, I don't know. Do you want to short that low? I don't think many will. Okay, that's triggered that short. If you did take that one, obviously it wasn't at the same level. But I don't know. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. My two cockapoos. Kids are coming home from school. Okay, we have made a new low from there, so... see, that's a tick or two off the top there, isn't it? So... yeah, you wouldn't have got a point there, and I've gone right from the bottom of the bar. I think you need to hit that bottom just to get a point. And that's an overshoot, so it's just too low to short, really, isn't it? There's not... I mean, it could always drop out the bottom, but you can't rely on that. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Okay. Okay, you'd have got 2 points there at a squeeze. Just a bit dangerous going short that close to the bottoms, isn't it? Coming our way. I don't know, mate. You tell me when's the next US holiday. I'm guessing we've got 80% off, so it's pretty good at the moment. Let's have a look. I dare say they'll probably stick to 80% now most of the time and then do the 90s around. So where are we now? July, so September. I think Labor Day is probably the next one, which is August. It's about 6 weeks away, isn't it? Something like that. I'm guessing it probably there, maybe earlier. Who knows? In all fairness, now. We've got a break at the bottom. In all fairness, I'm probably going to wait for those myself. I won't. Sorry, let's explain that again. I won't take the 50% anymore. I'll only take it at the 80s or 90s. I don't mind the 80s. It's $33. I don't mind. Yeah, it's nice with the 90s, but as I've mentioned before, I would say, in all honesty, I can't see people paying the 50% off anymore. They're going to wait for the 80s and the 90s. So, okay, so that worked. The trouble is, it looks a bit congested, and it didn't. It's sort of, it was a couple of ticks off level. You want that really to tick above it, don't you, for a lower high? And then we're very close to the lows here. You ain't going to know it's going to do that. So, it's not something I can get involved in really there. I want to take my trades off the bottom at the top. I hate trading days, I gotta say. As you guys know, I'm not a massive fan of picking tops and bottoms. It's a bit congested there, but that I think was the safer one. If you took the failure there, you got triggered and stopped out. You may have taken that one. No, well, after that, actually, there was the new high, there was the lower high, and we got out a lot of this, and we were tipping. So it stands to reason after that, that's where we're going to work back down to, but it was a bit risky. It was a bit of a larger bar, and not something I just want to get into at the moment. Because it is still a little bit congested. And if you look, it's a bit choppy there, so you just don't know, do you? But if I was a betting man, that's where I would be taking me short from. But at the moment, I'm just waiting for those A1 really good quality setups. I'm not sure what you mean there, Chris. Sorry, that link above, if for all funded trading discounts. I'm not sure what you mean. You have to explain that a bit, mate. Sorry, that link above, if for all funded trading discounts. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. Try the link. What link are you on about? Or are you saying you've tried the link? Are you on about my link, my code? Is that what you mean? Okay, so if you went long here, let's see if this stops you out. Touch. The link 3 above. I don't know what you mean, mate. The link 3 above. I'm not sure what you mean, bud. The discounts we've got at the moment is 80%. My code's down there, as you know. I don't know if you mean that, mate. I'm not sure. The link 3 above. The latency on this will pick up in a week and a half. I'm going up to 900 megabits per second so I can get it onto ultra low latency. So there's about a 2-second delay, I believe, maximum. So things will be a little bit smoother then. When I read the answer to the message, it takes you about 15 seconds to get it. So a conversation can be about 10 times longer than it needs to be. But so let's put that. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, you can't put links. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's nothing to do with me. It is how it is for some reason. I don't know. No idea why. So if we can come back and retest this, then we may have ourselves a bit of a trend. Now, I was aware of this when I looked at the chart this morning, that there is a... let's go with it. There is a possibility we could end up getting a leg, a bit of sideways in another leg. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're going up, coming down a bit, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. So we may end up having a leg and a leg. I don't know really, mate. I don't know. It's to prevent bots and scammers jumping. Ah, yeah. Did you end up taking any trades yesterday? No, but I didn't know. No, I didn't really see anything what I would call really nice quality, obvious ones. And I'm just on extra cautious at the moment, so I'm just waiting for those ones, you know, those really A+ ones that jump out of you. There was nothing really sort of tickle me fancy yesterday. But that's fine, I don't mind going away. Now, you know, if I can build my PAs to nice healthy balances, maybe I may take something. There was a trade yesterday, was it? I can't remember, it was a second entry long, but it was a little bit away from the EMA. Now, Mac marked it, and it worked. It doesn't necessarily mean that was the one there at the time. It was second entry long. It was just a bit far away, and it did seem to be like a little channel, and it just made me a bit nervous, these two. It's sort of, you know, we've all taken these trades a bit far from the EMA, and it comes up a little bit and then comes down to here, and then you get two legs down and you get stopped out. I like these to push through, really, to push through and end up sitting quite like that. I do, really. But it was just a bit, you know, it's not a terrible trade, and obviously if it works. If it didn't work, Matt wouldn't have marked it. So that's the you know, that area that it's easy to mark stuff, you know, when they work in hindsight. So whether we are getting a leg and a leg, it's possible. So whether you'll take it from there, really. We got a few pushes up, bit of sideways. That was away from the EMA, but also offer support the Y channel, yeah. It wasn't those ones. We know those trades that when you see them, you just can't click the button quick enough, can you? Those trades. Those ones I'm trying to find on. And if I only find 4 a week and I win them all, that I'm $800 up a week per account. Now you do that over 10 accounts, that's $8,000 a week. That's serious money. So I've got no problem with waiting. The trouble is with me, I've always been an all or nothing. If I mess something up, I tend to just go on tilt. So I think it's important for me that I've got to take trades that I think, yeah, that's for me. Okay, so now we'll either stop there or we'll push back up and continue down. There is a possibility, and it does happen sometimes. Mac never sent in to mark anything, but a lot of cases will do that. Or whether you bring it to here, you may even bring it down to here, I suppose. And then I don't know. See if we get lower. Let's get it out of the way. But we have broken out the bottom, and there's been no real attempt to test these. A little bit there, but we didn't get, so we may end up continuing down for a while, or we could push I don't know, no idea. We could push back into there. NQ hasn't quite got there yet, has it not? Bartfly, how are you, mate? Too slow for me. Have fun, trade safe, have a nice weekend. Yeah, you take it easy, pal. Yeah, it's a bit slow, isn't it? Does make you wonder whether it's worth flicking onto the 1,000, doesn't it? You say have a good weekend. What day is it? Oh, it's it Friday? What day is it? Oh, piss off. Sorry about that. Back from vacation. Lucky you. Where have you been? Mind you, you guys, you're quite close to the Caribbean, aren't you? You do a great work. Be careful today. Thank you, mate. Half back, half on the beach. Where are you, mate? Whereabouts are you? Beach sounds good right about now, I've got to say. Bart's another streamer. Well, you're more YouTube than stream, aren't you? I think you just more play your trades back, don't you? I do watch yours. I do watch them. I watch everybody's, really. It's nice to see what other people see. People see the same things as me. It just helps you get an overall bigger picture of, I think, where you are. Thursday, it's Friday. Yeah, need to cut back on the booze. I haven't had much lately, actually. I've had a couple of days of... I don't have a lot. I may have a double most nights. Only the equivalent to a pint of beer, so it's not a lot. I never had any last night, never had any night before. Leaving the Adriatic coast. The Adriatic coast. Adriatic coast. Isn't that... That's in Europe, isn't it? Or am I completely... I thought the Adriatic coast was around Turkey, wasn't it? Yeah, it is around Greece area, isn't it? Is it? Adriatic. Yeah, it's the Med. I thought it was. Italy, yeah. Lucky you. Oh, lucky you. So what are you doing there? Are you originally from the US, are you? Or are you not? I just tend to assume everyone's from the US because most of you are. Italy, it's on my list to go. I've never been there. I've been around France and Austria and Switzerland and places like that. I worked in a ski resort years ago when I was a young lad. When I was a young chef. Italy's on my place to go. I'm a pizza fanatic. Pizza and pasta. Are you from Poland? He's Polish. Ah, I see. Gotcha. God, I tend to assume everyone's American because a lot of you are. Ah, good for you, mate. Good for you. Surprised you're not in this country then. They got loads of Polish over here. Poland, eh? Oh, interesting. It's nice to know where people are from. Good for you, mate. On a beach. Oh, I'd love to do that. I love UK and Scotland, our family. Oh, do you really? Yeah, it's nice. Scotland's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I haven't spent a lot of time there, but I do. I am going to do one of the, I think they call it the North Coast 500, where you go 500 miles right around the coast of Scotland. It looks fantastic, especially if you like your whiskey. You've got all your distilleries in there, but Scotland's incredible. I like the outdoors, I do. And Scotland, for scenery and countryside, is just spectacular. But I am going to drive around the coast one of these days. Iceland, I'd like to do that as well. Drive around the coast of Iceland. Do you keep any journal of your trades except YouTube, like any kind of journal software? Well, funny you say that. I have got a copy of Wilson's trade tracker, and I've just started filling in that. But I have done I've had about 2 journals, just paperback journals, just the ones you buy on Amazon, trading journals, and I fill those in, but I'd rather do a computerized version now so I can see more my stats, because I think it helps your. But I know there's a couple. I was chatting with the Nutty Trader guy, and he uses a paid one. I forget what it's called now, but I do save every trade, and at the end of the day, I look through my trades. I mean, anyway, just trading. You know where there's trades you missed. You know trades you shouldn't have done. But I think most professional traders do, for sure. Just visit UK a few times. Yeah, it is nice. It's nice in the UK. We're lucky over here. We don't have earthquakes, tornadoes, poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes, guns. We don't have none of that, so there's not many things that are going to kill you over here. Obviously, places like the States and that, obviously you've got a lot more deadly things over there. Sharks, snakes, spiders, guns, earthquakes, tornadoes. We get none of that over here. It's quite boring over here, and that's how I like it. Like being patient, becoming a successful trader. Mike going to join you. You guys have dragons. Not anymore, mate. All the knights slaughtered them back in the 10th century. Yeah, we've had a couple of earthquakes here, but you don't get much. You just tend to get a little rattle once every 20 years, and that's about it. But I mean, from you guys in the States, obviously you get the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all that sort of thing. I mean, you get horrific weather from. Yeah, I mean, a thunderstorm here is nothing compared to, what you get in the States. You guys get proper weather over there. You get nothing here. It's really quiet in the UK. There's just nothing exciting happens in the UK. Okay, so we do seem to be continuing down. Now, there's only a first entry there. If we can get a second entry, maybe pushing above here and then dropping. That's played out anyway, but as I mentioned, there is a possibility of a bigger leg. So whether you put that there or whether you put that there, you would probably say there, really, because that's your biggest swing from here to there. This sort of seems like, yeah, you don't want to put it here because we've already had a drop there, so I would say it's there. Trouble is, it is a bit hard going short for me. We've been going up that long. So maybe we get a second entry short. We'll see. Touch. It's clearly working in here. There's no argument there. Leg down. The measured leg played out anyway around about here, I think. So we're continuing down. Yeah, measured leg around about there. Yeah, you could have said that was sort of like a hidden second entry short. Push up, red bar, indicating a little bit of a pullback, and then another green bar. Yeah, I think if I'd have had healthier bank balances, then trades like that may work, I don't know, 75% of the time. Maybe a bit more, maybe. I'll probably go for. And I think taking trades like that, if you weigh things out, you'd probably still be more beneficial to take trades like that because they're going to work more times than not. Now, my issue at the moment is the trades hurt me at the moment, the losses. So once I get healthier bank balance and regular monthly payments, I still think trades like that, it is a hidden second entry short. Trades like that are going to work most of the time. Even if you go 1 for 1 and they work 70% of the time, you're still up in profit. So it still makes sense to go for them. But I just want as little losses as possible at the moment. But yeah, I mean, you can see it go up there, come down and go up. So that yeah, a hidden push up, pull back, push up, and it clearly worked. But yeah, if you go for 1-to-1 with those trades, something like that is going to work 70-80% of the time. I'd say there's no reason why it shouldn't. We're clean, and the only thing that may be questionable is the measured move, but we're clearly past the measured move. So I don't think you need to worry about that. So that comfortably made 2 points, but it's working down there nice now. So now let me just put that back there, because okay, if it is there, then I want to make sure I'm careful. But I would say, in all honesty, if there is a leg down here, you'll go to the lowest point there and then to the highest swing, and that swings there. I don't know, you could say we'll go for there and then 1 leg, 2 legs back, but then we've had another dip below there, so I think that's probably where that needs to go. So let me see if there's anything back here. There is a bit of congestion around here a couple of days ago, so whether that makes a bit of difference, I don't know, but we're clearly working down nicely. And this is the type of channel, if we do get a break from it, these nice channels, which are quite tight, they tend to work quite nice if you can get them. So but it is working nice. There's no arguments about that. It's bouncing in all the right places. I have done once, mate. I'll try it again though. I did it once and it knocked me. It knocked those out for some reason. Another push up. That'd be nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if anything, even with that, you may say there's a little bit of congestion there, and you could call it a fail breakout. So you could trade it as a hidden second entry or a fail breakout. Either one works. See, we're coming down a little bit of sideways. We pop up nicely, hit that AMA, come down. Yeah, it's going to work most of the time. That is. There's another second entry short there. So let me have a look at that.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Let's have a look. Okay, you could call that a failure. It's a second entry short. See what happens. What am I going for? Let's go for me 2 points. It's a bit lower than the low, but we've got this down here. So it is a second entry short and it's a failure. This is the time where these extra ticks help. So I'm just going to give an extra tick. I'm tempted to put this up here. I don't like moving my stop, but I think that would be a good place to put it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 4-point risk. But I think it's going to work. Or am I stupid? I think I made a mistake here. The only reason I did it is because it looks like there was a couple of legs. In a lot of cases, it will stop out them and then come down. So it was stupid to move it. But I think it's worth it because we are moving down nice and strongly. Second entry short. One extra tick.
Order filled.
Okay, silly mistake there. We pushed down, second entry short, triggered. Pretty sure that's going to come down. Let's have a look. Silly boy. I've just given myself a bit of an extra loss that I needed there. It was a risk, I know that, but I thought it might trigger these two out, hit this and come down. That's frustrating. Silly boy. Silly boy. Rule, never move your stop. I thought that was okay, to be honest with you. In fact, that doesn't really even make a difference. So why is that just... why did that not work there? Push up, pull back, push up. We bounced twice there. I didn't expect that to happen. Should I move me stop? I thought that might save me neck by moving it an extra. How much did I move it? An extra 1.5. Looks shady. It's just... The trouble is, Mac marks these and he goes, whenever you have these strong trends, every time you take a second entry, take it. And the trouble is, that's where Mac marks them every time, marks it. Because they seem to work. And then the one time I get into it, that's frustrating. Oh well. I've just lost an extra 150 quid by stupidly moving me stop, but okay. Lesson learned. Don't move your stop. So that was a hidden second entry. It touched the EMA. That touched the EMA. It was also a double top. Second entry short. I don't know. Why do these things fail where they do? You almost entered, yeah. I didn't think it was that bad. And Mac will say again and again, when you have these strong trends, and that is working nice and strong, lots of little bars moving down. So I thought it looked okay, and the SBNQ started moving up. Yeah. I thought it was okay. Was it a 10 out of 10? Maybe an 8.5 or 9, but I think it was good enough. Second entry shot. Yeah, it was a fairly... I don't know. Normally works. Yeah, you'd expect it to work. I don't know how many times we've heard Max saying these, which is why I moved my stop to here, because I thought maybe it might tick these out and come to here. One leg, two leg, and then come down. So I risked an extra $150. I don't know. Is it stupid? Maybe. Well, you live and learn, do you? But that to me... Failure, second entry short, strong trend, touch the EMA, it worked most of the time. See if we get a retest of these lows then. $45.73 is the expected move. How do you know that though? So I don't know whether Bookmap would have helped me. Would it have done? No idea. Okay, there's some strong buy in there. 44.70, which is here. Would that have helped me? I don't know. Maybe not, actually. Okay, maybe a lower high. I think it's going to be a failure if we've got to get down. Yeah, see, how do you know that, Dr. Linney? Daily expected move using implied. Yeah, see, to me, it was a failure in a second entry short off the key entry point in a strong trend, so who knows? So there is a failed second entry long there. A high or low. Trouble is, I can't just go long there because I don't know whether we're going to retest here or what. I don't know. I don't know why we would just all of a sudden just turn there without coming down and retesting. Yeah, Angela. The reason being is because I thought it was a trade. If I'd have taken a trade that I didn't think was good, that's when they tend to mess with me. I'm a little bit frustrated I moved me stop. But the reason I did that is because I thought we hadn't had an overshoot or anything. I thought we got one leg up, a second leg up. See that bar there? I thought we usually, when we do sort of push back up, we don't get as high as that previous swing, and that was the previous swing. So it was an extra $150 risk, but a lot of the times it didn't work, but it didn't, unfortunately. So perhaps, I should have just accepted a loss, but maybe a leg and another leg. There wasn't an overshoot here, so there was no reason that it would come out here, which is why I sort of did it. I thought we're going to have a leg break and a leg, bearish bar there, and then it continued down. But Well, they don't bother me so much, trades that I believe to be okay. I bet there'd have been quite a few people who took that trade because it is a second entry short. It's a failure. It's a strong trend. We hadn't had any overshoots or anything, so yeah, they don't stress me out as much. They used to, but a lot of times if it had been going up there, I'd have jumped straight back in it. But I don't do it as much, so I'm just a bit frustrated I've had the bigger loss. But well, it is what it is. So I'm just trying to think now. We're bouncing off here and then we're going to come down and make a new low or what? We've come out of this range anyway, so I still would expect to make a new low from this, but it doesn't mean we're going to, so we'll see. It's a bit far to be a fell breakout there because there are plenty of opportunities for it to push up, but it didn't. It just kept going down. So there's no reason that would have done that, really. I don't know. It's got to have a break at some time, isn't it? And it was a double top as well, bearish bar. Yeah, there's nothing back here that I could see why it would stop that for some reason. Leg and a leg. Maybe we're coming down. Maybe that isn't valid. No, let's leave it. Because it does look right. Leg. Retest of the lows, yeah, me as well. Yeah, see, if that came down, Mac could mark that as a high probability trade. But if it's a high probability trade one day, why isn't it on another day? So that's the issue I have with some of the ones that Mac marks. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but why touched it? I mean, it is a big range, isn't it? If it is a big range, it's possible, but as it's broken out of the general sort of, I mean, all right, let's move that back to sort of here. As it's sort of, I would class that as I don't know, it's hard to say at the moment, isn't it? In fact, let's see if we should have something from Mac now. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. See what Matt's got things marked at. Yeah, Mac's got that marked. He's got that down there. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's got that down there. He's got this marked. Yeah, from here to there. Okay, so he's got the same. So if you say the bottom's here, it could be a bigger thing, but it's only will touch once there. So why would that be a bottom just once? I think you've, I don't know. See if it starts to work down. Overnight lows are holding resistance here. Okay, little break, maybe a new high. See what happens. Oh, don't worry about the likes, mate. They don't bother me. You're never going to make a lot of money on YouTube. Unless you got hundreds of thousands. So there's a little break out of there by the looks of things. Made 2 attempts to go higher. I don't know, maybe call it triple test. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, little break out of this and a new high. Well, it's over 2 legs, isn't it? Let's have a look. 1 leg. Yeah, it's gone way over 2 legs. I mean, 2 legs was that one. That was a hidden second entry short, and that went down. So you just don't know, really. A lot of the times we'll have these. I see them all the time, and then they'll come back, and they'll just continue down and continue down. So who knows? I dare say there may have been a couple of people who took that. Someone might mention it to Mac. I don't know. So maybe we're not going to have a retest of this bottoms. Let's see if we get a couple of legs up here. Maybe a leg and a leg. Tell you what, let's see if we can open this up a bit, see if this fits somehow. Let's remove that, it's just confusing me. Okay, let's put that there for the measured move, just in case it is. They just get in the way sometimes. leg up. If we can get a couple of legs down here and then maybe a bit more up. Let me see. I think we've come too high to retest this now, I think, personally, but yeah. See, you wouldn't ordinarily have that range down there, would you? That'd be here or for. I mean, Max got it here, so I don't know. I don't know. We've got a leg up. I still expect to get up here. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get down here. It reversed to the tick level. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. It reversed to the tick level. Yeah, I've got rid of bookmap now. I don't know whether it made a difference in all fairness. Yeah, I think bookmap is helping me, and I'll tell you why. We got a massive orders at 87, which is up here. Let's have a look. 87, which is here. I don't know. Yeah, they have. They're bloody awful, aren't they, in all honesty? Bring your range a little smaller with failed breakout. Yeah, see, Mac had it there. That's the thing. You know about there. Yeah, there's 930 orders at 87. I'm just going to put it back for now. And if it hits that, I think it'll push through there, and I think we'll get that measured move. Don't know if we're going to get an entry here, though. That's the trouble. See if it works. Do I still have a short bias? No, I don't think. I think we've come far out here to come back down. We've had a push up there. I think personally this is the area we're going to work to. And I know I got rid of bookmap. I just got back just to see if it were difference. There's a massive orders here. There's nearly 1,000 orders here. So I would expect to hit that, and I would expect to make this measured move. So I don't know, maybe I don't know, to be fair. What I will say is we're clearly working up at the moment, so my bias is changed to up at the moment. I'm playing the shallower range like you have it now. Yeah. If I see a strong push below the EMA, would be looking for a setup to sell. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence at the moment. I'm not sure what to do. What I will say is we've had a leg up and a pullback, and these tend to be really accurate, so I just don't know at the moment. If we can get a second entry long and bounce bullish off here, then I'll be interested in that. And it does. If it's pushed in here, bounce it on this, which I think is important as well, so we'll see. But there is that big bar there. It's triggered, isn't it? So I don't know. I'm expecting it to push up. Leg down, leg down. If you can get a nice bullish bar here,
Order submitted.
I'll look to go long there. Yeah, it's to do with the EMA. Hopefully, if it stays a small risk as well, it's a small bar, isn't it? So hopefully, if it stays small, see how it finishes. If it finishes bullish, I'll take it. Otherwise, no. Well, there'll be some shorts there, and I don't know. See, some people may just have that little channel of breaking a new high and taking a lower high. I don't know.
Order cancelled.
Push. It's definitely a leg and a leg. I'm going to move that back to where Mac had it, and the reason being, we may have gone in, we may be bouncing off this to push higher. So it would be a higher low to get me in this, because that looks like a little channel. Interesting. That closed below the EMA, that closed below the EMA. First entry. If we can get a failure here, then I may be thinking about going short. The trouble is that's in a little channel there, see, so if you go along there, it's easy for you to trigger and come down. So if we can get a push up and then a failure here and it ends up nice and bearish, if it pushes above here, it comes down bearish, then I may think about going short. I don't know, it's hard to say at the moment because Mac had it here. It's bounced a few times there, so it may test it and bounce off that line. It's hard to say. But we are in quite a nice channel. I mean, you could argue that let's maybe draw that like that. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. That's a channel, so the break, and yeah, it's just hard to say. If this ends up nice and bearish, then I may take that as a failure.
Order submitted.
It's pushed up. If that comes down bearish, we're below the EMA. We're below the EMA. That close, that close, that close, that close. We'll see. You're in a short, are you? Yeah. If this closed bearish, then I may be joining you. Ooh. How short is short?
Order cancelled.
It is a failure, isn't it?
Order submitted.
No, I'm not a fan of the bar, I gotta say.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, you're right. Trouble is we could get a leg, a break, and another leg. See, I mean, if this is a channel, Mac's got it marked like this, so whether you have it there or whether you have it there, there's, sorry, range. Whether you have it there, there's clearly range. So, wherever you have it, we've had this channel, and it's broken out the bottom, and it's made a couple of attempts to go higher, and it's pushed back down. So for me, maybe it is let down. I've made a couple of attempts to go higher and then come down. I'd say it's, I don't know, maybe there's even a bigger channel there working in the long run. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's too early, really. Trouble is, these size channels never seem to go very far. Yeah, so if you took that, it looks like it's going to stop you out. Let's push down and made 2 attempts to go higher, so I don't know. See how bearish that goes.
Order submitted.
So there's the failure. Could call that a lower high, second entry short. Let's just see how it finishes. I don't mind that, actually. Come on. Come on.
Order filled.
A little bit more risk than I wanted. It's a 2.75 risk. And maybe we're going to get down here, who knows. Oh, you're in it, are you? Going for 2 points, yeah. This pushes down bearish. I might drop my stop and just put it below break even, because I expect now to probably make a new low. See what happens. If it starts to push down nice and strong, there's going to be some shorts there, I dare say. Where's 4 points? We had that big trend down, one break new high. I expect to make a new low from this. Maybe there's a bigger channel working there. Yeah, that would work. $45.76, you reckon? Interested to see if we have a new low from here. If we push down close to here, I'm going to pull my order down and just come out for break even, because I think we might get a nice push. It'd be nice to try and get some of these points back. We'll see. Or shall I just come out for here? Let's just come out for this. Let's not be greedy. See how I feel. There's going to be some long stops there, I dare say, so. Oh, that needs to come down. Otherwise, we might be screwed. I'm about a tick lower than I wanted to be there. It's not a lot, really. That's where I wanted to get in. Yes, I'm a tick lower than I needed to be, but there we go. So you'd have got 1.5 points out of it. It's not looking good. Having said, if we can hold, I'm going to give it one extra tick. If we can hold.
Order filled.
Really not having a good day. We may have ended up getting that. Oh, well, it's just pushing above the, yeah, that's a shame. I thought with all that it was going to work. Ooh, down $725. That's not good. Bloody hell. Okay, I'm going to knock it on the head, I think, for today, guys. That's me done. Yeah, bad day. So have a great evening, guys. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll catch up with you all again today. That's my 2-lot rule. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. So have a great